Hi guys, and welcome to TechBased. In this video, we're going to talk about the best partition manager for Windows 11, both 24H2 and 25H2, the newest version. In this video, we're going to talk about Partition Master. For those of you who don't know, is one of the oldest companies on the market when it comes to partitions. I remember, I think 15 years ago, back when I was using Windows XP, Asus was on the market in that time, and they had some free alternatives that I used back then to manage my partitions, and of course, they're still on the market. In this video, we're going to talk about Partition Master, the professional edition. Of course, you can get a free trial for this if you want. More information will be in the description below, and you can also get it from there if you want. But let's talk about this software and see what we can do with it, because you can do pretty much everything that you need related to partition, disk cloning, even disk converting, recovering partitions, and more. We have a few categories here in the left side: partition manager, disk clone, disk converter, partition recovery, bootable media, and also toolkit, which will allow us to do certain processes that require a professional tool. First of all, inside Partition Manager, of course, we have the basic functions. For example, we can migrate an OS, we can resize or remove a partition, format, delete, migrate, BitLocker Manager, and more, which is a good thing because BitLocker could be a problem starting with Windows 11 24H2. We can merge, we can split, extend, shrink, allocate space, and even more things such as partition properties, check, explore, and details. One thing that I have to mention is that the extending function is not limited to non-OS partitions inside Windows. If you were to go to disk management to extend a partition, you won't be able to do that with the OS partition. Well, with Partition Master, you can do that because you're going to have to restart your computer and it's going to do the processes offline so that you won't encounter any issues. For example, I have here about 100 gigabytes of unallocated space. Let's select it and let's create a new partition here. As you can see, we're going to use the whole space. The drive letter will be D and the file system NTFS. Let's go for a partition label, for example, test partition, and then click on OK. As you can see, we now have a task in the queue. Let's click on execute one task and then click on apply. It's going to start the process. As you can see, instantly our partition was created. I think this is pretty nice. I think this is way faster than the default Windows 11 process if you were to do it from disk management. One thing that we can check also is the BitLocker Manager. If we click on this, we're going to see that we have one partition that is BitLocker encrypted, and that is the E partition. We have here some basic information, and we can click on find BitLocker key. We can click on the find button, and as you can see here, it's going to allow us to automatically connect to our Microsoft account. We will be automatically redirected to our recovery key section, and then from there we can get our recovery key. I think this is a great function that was added in this software. And of course, in addition to this, you can change labels, change the drive letter later on, the cluster size, and so on, alongside with the basic details and information about the partition. Moving on, we can go to disk clone. This will allow us to do a whole bunch of stuff. For example, migrate OS, clone OS disk, clone data disk, and clone partition. Of course, for example, you have Windows installed on a certain partition. You cannot simply just copy and paste that installation to another partition because it won't work. Well, for this, you're going to need Partition Master to clone that disk. And for example, you can click on clone OS disk, click on next, and then select the source where you want to get your OS from and the final destination. Of course, that will be pretty simple if you ask me. And Partition Master will do all the necessary processes so that you can use the OS after cloning. Also, we have the disk converter, which will help you, for example, if you have even Windows 10 or Windows 11, to convert basic partition formats, for example, MBR to GPT, GPT to MBR, and so on. As you can see, GPT allows an almost unlimited number of partitions. Windows 11 explicitly requires a GPT partition style. So I think some of you guys who are older on this channel remember that I've done a video a few years ago, back when Windows 11 was released, in which I showed you how to manually convert from MBR to GPT. Well, you can do that really easily using Partition Master. You can also do a partition recovery if we lost partitions, lost data, and so on. We can create a bootable media if we want. So basically, you can create a bootable USB drive or a recovery USB drive, and also burn ISO even to a CD or DVD if you still have that. In the toolkit section, you have access to a lot of useful features. For example, data migration, bad sector scan, rebuild MBR, write protection, alongside with boot repair and password reset. I think these are some great functions that you can do. For example, password reset. If you forgot your Windows 11 password, you're just going to need a USB drive, and you're going to create a bootable USB media that will allow you to recover your system if you lost your password. I think that is really, really nice. And on top of that, you also have an AI assistant, which is something pretty new. You can ask your AI, for example, how to create a new partition, and the AI will guide you through information related to how to do that and information on how to do that using Ease's Partition Master. And as you can see, the AI will ask you certain questions to help you. For example, the size of the new partition. Let's go for 100 gigabytes and NTFS. Let's see what the AI will tell us to do. And as you can see, the AI is pretty powerful because it can see from our system that we don't have unallocated spaces, so we may need to resize an existing partition or free up some space first. So of course, you also have this option with AI if you want to use it, but pay attention, it is generated by AI and review carefully. This is basically Ease's Partition Master, in my opinion, the best partition manager for Windows 11. If you want to use it, of course, check out the description below. There, you're going to have all the information you need alongside with a free trial if you want to try it out for yourself before using the Pro version. So this was the video for today. I hope you liked it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like below and also subscribe to the TechBased channel with the notification bell activated so that you won't miss any future uploads like this one. I was Emmanuel from TechBased. Until next time, have a nice day.